Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Pretty good day today, thankfully. Yesterday was a crappy day. Thankfully, we had some good action on Monday. Choppy red day yesterday. Did not have any good opportunity, but then today came through and had some really good trades. We're going to walk through all of those. We actually caught two halts today on SUGP. That thing was super nice and caught the plays out of the open on this. We're going to walk through it in depth and sort of go back and see how I traded today, how we traded these stocks that we did. Pretty happy with the execution this morning. We had some really good setups. You can see here, played this thing from 104s all the way to about 160s on this thing. So definitely really fruitful here and super happy with it. So let's go and dive into it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kev. I've taught over 10,000 traders over the last 5 or so years. We are offering a 7-day free trial, so make sure to claim access to that before this video ends. That way you can get locked in for tomorrow's trading day. So you can actually watch me trade these stocks in real time, get our watch list, education, chat room access, and whole bunch of other stuff as well. So in any case, let's go ahead and get started here looking over at SUGP. Now we had a couple of gappers out of the bell today. We had SUGP, EVOK, PROK, a bunch of BS really, because PROK was one yesterday that halted 30 times. It ran 500%, but halted, I kid you not, 40, 50 times yesterday. Just not even really tradable. And that's the big thing that I wanted to talk about too, is you've got stocks like this on PROK that make these really significant moves. Yesterday, this thing explodes 600% the high of day. And you've got a lot of people out there saying, oh, I missed it. I missed this opportunity. No, if it's not predictable, if it's not consistent or replicable long term, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. And long term, you're just going to lose money playing these stocks. You can't manage risk in a halt. So leave it alone, be smart, focus on the big picture, and let's focus on SUGP here. So this thing was so nice. Looking into the open today, we had this thing gap up this morning. Clearly, this thing was looking nice. Now we had the 200 moving average here tied off of about $1. We can see here the 200 moving average right there off $1 this morning. So I'm watching it over that 200 moving average. We had it beneath, and I was watching it beneath at first. That was at 97 cents. But I wanted to first see price confirm back over the 200. So I knew based on that I at least had to see price back over $1. And then I knew that if price got over that dollar level, that we had range here to about 150. We can look back here at the daily time frame to identify this area of range. We have 150, then we've got like 2, right? We got 150 and 2 on this here on SUGP. So we knew where the range was. We knew we had 150 and we had 2 if we could get over the 200 moving average over $1 a share. So that looked good. Going back to the chart, take a look at this again. Beautiful setup. Does not get much easier than this. I kid you not, this thing was gorgeous. Check this out. So we had this move in pre-market today where price is sort of doing a little bit of something. We have a nice higher low. And this thing's forming kind of ascending channel going into the open. Now, we watched this here into the bell, and we've got this nice tightening wedge start to form here into the bell. We have this really tight, almost tweezer set up into the open. We have these, look at this, super tight, lower highs, higher lows. This thing just wants to break out. We don't know which direction it's going to choose. And so again, we also know that we had that 200 moving average sitting right there at $1 a share. So I knew if I wanted to play this today, I first had to get back over the 200 moving average, but that's where that confluence comes in, and I want you to take a look at this and why this is my most profitable stock of the day today. Now, this thing broke $1, also broke up out of this tightening wedge, while also being tight off of VWAP, while also being tight off the 12 EMA per my strategy. So I had so much confluence here, right? I had the break of the wedge, I had VWAP, I had the 12 EMA, I had the 200 moving average on the daily. This thing could not have been any easier. It was a beautiful setup. I should have taken more size in hindsight, but God, this thing was so good. So had the entry there again, like we said, over $1. We had about 6 cents a share of risk. You can see from 1 to 106, had about 6 cents a share of risk, and was able to take a nice entry here. And lo and behold, the follow through here was tremendous. We got a nice move up into the highs, back up into the pre-market high, and then we halt at 116. And so from here, I'm just riding the moving averages, riding at 12 EMA, and so again, I raised my stop loss so that if it did resume weak, I'd at least be out with break even or at least small profit. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This thing resumes at like $1.30, $1.36. So I take a full exit. Take a full exit, $1.36 from a $1.06 entry. A 30-cent move from only having 6 cents a share of risk, which is insane, mind-boggling. So then again, we know that we have that range to 150 and 2, and so we see this start to consolidate again. Look at this. It halts, it resumes, pulls back, puts in place sort of a higher low here, and then again, pulls back again, confirms again. And so again, we have this nice tightening wedge forming again up here off the highs. And so I'm watching this thing pull back after this insane move to the upside off the 5 and 12 EMA. Again, it's just respecting this so well within this range. And so once again, I take the entry at the bottom of this candle off the pullback, risking this previous candle's low. And so again, I'm taking this here for the break of this previous high towards 2, which we eventually got that move to the upside here in a pretty significant way. It made a move to 185. And so I'm in here at 139, risking 128, about 10 cents a share of risk this time. You halt again, but thankfully the halts have been resuming really nice. So again, take the entry off the bottom of this sort of tightening wedge, get the move here from 139 all the way to 160s on this. And I left a little bit of money on the table. This thing ended up hitting, like I said, 185. Left about, 15 cents on the table here. But either way, you're not going to time the top. I knew we only had range here to about 160. I'll show you why. Now, obviously, it ended up surpassing that slightly for a slight period of time. So I had trendline resistance sort of sitting overhead up in this range. And so I'm trying to play it up the top of this range here. You can see we have higher high. We sort of peak off the high here. And it does reject and it respects it well. But that's what I'm kind of looking for here. We saw it break up into the 160s out of the strong halt. And I'm just like, let's just take full profit and be done with it. So that was that. I was happy with that. Took it back on the reclaim of trend. Was able to make a few cents. You can see it back here where price reclaims the move. Look at this here. Price reclaims these lows. At first, this halts below. It resumes weak and then reclaims. So I take a quick reclaim entry here for the break back higher towards this top of this range here. I didn't get that move, but I at least took full profits here on weakness and was able to secure those gains. So that was nice. Had an opening breakout on Workhorse, which was nice. But the one that I struggled with today was EVOK. And I want to look at this because this is where I, in my opinion, had some areas of improvement today. Now, I have nothing wrong with the first entry. I've got nothing wrong with this whatsoever. This entry was fine. It was holding front side. It looked really nice. And I'll even show you here looking at the bigger picture time frame. Again, we have this nice entry. Again, playing the front side still. Looking for this to follow through back up into the top of its range towards 10 bucks. And we didn't get that. So this entry was fine. Yes, it was a losing trade, but you're not going to win them all. You're not going to win every single trade you take. So it was a really good opportunity. I just didn't get followed through. Now, you can see here where we had price sort of trying to, look at this. We have this area of supply formed overhead from the open. So I'm sort of looking for this to curl off this pullback. And we don't get it, right? So we don't get that. We're a little bit indecisive here. It is what it is. But nonetheless, we move along here to this next entry. This is the one that I have an issue with right here. The reclaim of VWAP. Now, VWAP reclaims I love, but you have to have confluence. And in this case here, I missed the fact that the setup was on the backside. Here, it looks fantastic. We have the nice break of trend, right? I'm trying to take this VWAP reclaim for the move back up towards its high of day. But the overall trend, and this is where I made the mistake this morning of not seeing this. Look at this. This thing was totally backside from here. And so I'm trying to play this here off the VWAP reclaim, totally backside. So it is what it is. One of those things where you're not going to win them all. You're going to make mistakes. We're all human. We're not going to be perfect. But looking back in hindsight, this is one of those things that I could avoid going into tomorrow, for example. But it's been hard because it's been so slow after the first 30 minutes lately that I almost feel like you try and make some things work that might not actually be there. This is one of those examples too where sure, you've got the awesome reclaim of VWAP, trend break, it looks good, and I feel like it's a setup that I wouldn't have taken in a hotter market. So just one of those things. Still a good day, don't get me wrong. Also at HIMS today, was able to take some profits on the HIMS swing today. We called this out at 47 back a couple of days ago and had some news this morning about them expanding out to Canada this morning, and so able to take some profits up here this morning. Not a whole lot to be had there today, though. This also rejected, gave back that entire move after news, and actually just cut the trade for now. And whenever I see news like this come out, I want to see that news get price to continue higher. And in the case of this here, we have that initial reaction to news here where we have this massive pump in price where I was able to take advantage and trim up here. And then we have the actual digestion. You have this two-part effect. You have the reaction, and then you have the actual digestion. And the market digests the news. You don't really see the value in the news, I suppose, and so went ahead and cut that for profit. It is what it is. So that momentum dried up there. But that was the morning. Kind of an uneventful day again, but all in all, super fond of this morning's action. Just not of that EVOK trade. The one trade that I really look back on, I wish I wouldn't have taken. But again, not looking to strive for perfection, just looking to strive for discipline and sticking to rules every day. So that's the morning. Hopefully you guys had an awesome day today. I know SUGP was fantastic. Again, played that from 103 all the way to 160s today. Was super nice. The stream was on fire today. The watch list was on fire with SUGP and HIMS and Workhorse. Overall, just for a really fruitful Wednesday morning. Let me know in the comments below how you did today. And of course, make sure to sign up for your 7-day free trial while you can. That link is down in the description below. You can sign up for your 7-day free trial for access to watch me trade these stocks in real time every day, watch list, alerts, education, chat room access, and so much more. And of course, make sure to subscribe as well for daily videos like this, and I will see you guys tomorrow.